This is it. Apparently, this is the start. But this, what is, never started. There's no start. This is completely timeless, boundless, locationless, anchorless. This is no thing appearing. This is happening. It's what you can, this is the happening. And if there was something being explained here or something on offer, then you'd have heard it before. But you've never heard anything before. You've never heard anything, ever. All there is hearing. You're totally off the hook. You've never done a thing in your entire life. Because you are not. This is total emptiness, full to the brim with sound, and it's totally and utterly unknowable. So replace all that with blah, 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 because it's as close as anything. All there is what is, but in this what is, there's everything that's possible. And this what is can feel like a me and what is, and it can feel awful on the back of that. And it can feel like it can feel utterly frustrating. It can feel like, I mean, just list everything. And it still would be what is, though. And there's nothing here that's being denied. There's no solution on offer. There's nothing on offer. There's no advice on offer. This is totally clueless and it's authorityless. There's no education, no knowledge, no path. Nothing is required to be sitting on a chair and hearing the sound of this. Nothing is required and nothing will ever be required. This is totally free and free to be however it is. And all that's being suggested here is that there's no one doing anything. There's no one growing the grass, blowing the leaves on the trees and doing the hearing. All there is hearing. And beyond just simply what it is, a gazillion stories are told. And sometimes in these meetings, it can appear like, that a story is something negative. But one of the primary stories is that I am here. Utterly, this is felt, that I'm here and the world is out there. And that movement is all about making this more comfortable. It seems to be that, making life more noble and comfortable and safe. And for whatever reason, there's, certain words out there that seem to catch us. Some things seem to catch us. There seems to be a crack in this solid system of me and the world. This really ordinarily, this really solid, I'm here and the world is out there and this is time bound and this is whatever is happening is real and it's happening to me. Cracks can show in that, can somehow appear in that. And then with those cracks, there can be a seeking for other than what is appearing to happen. And a seeking to make this better. That's the kind of general movement. And if we were to describe this, then it would be, whether it's through spirituality, money, whatever is the list of things to make this more comfortable and better. That's what's sought and constantly sought after. I want to make this better. And why wouldn't you want to make that better? Because that just seems to be how it is, right? And so perhaps then this non-dual communication has been stumbled across, and for whatever reason, it seems attractive. But there can still be lost in the idea that somebody talking about it knows something. and that, you know, this idea of if I lose the self, then I will finally realize, and I'll finally realize what this is. And all that's probably going to come out of this trapdoor here this evening is that this is totally and utterly unknowable. It's utterly empty and naked and full to the brim with the sound, with just hearing. And really, that is all there is on offer, is nothing. The worst is the worst meeting in the history of meetings. And yet, no, it's the worst meeting in the history of meetings, because there's just nothing on offer. It's totally free. But what would be on offer? Who could offer anything to anyone that wasn't snake oil? You know, who could offer anything? And of course, it's predominant out there that there's everything on offer, how to make this better. And all that will be said here is that there's just what's appearing to happen. And there's total cluelessness about that. And so, but obviously, this is a kind of a sharing, and there may be questions or comments or anything to be asked or said or whatever. But if there's something pressing to be asked, you know, put it in the comment box or just unmute yourself and jump off the cliff, and let's see what happens. You can't do this wrong. You can't do it right. You're not doing it. So let's see what happens. Yeah, somebody's put in a comment, still missing my ex. Yeah. And that's how it is then. You can't do missing your ex, but missing your ex can be how it is. There's nothing wrong or right. Totally free to just be how it is. So all there is that then.
Oh, I appear to have unmuted myself, so I should say something. Frank, you mentioned I think it was last night, there's no such thing as love. Connects with that person who might be missing their ex. Could you comment on that? What do you think? There is no, like,
there isn't a thing, there isn't a separate thing called love. There's just what is.
No, there isn't.
There are no things.
In love as a concept.
It's a story.
And
it's normally born, it's normally a story laden down with a lot of personal interpretations of whatever, you know. It's just it's the suggestion that there are no things, there's just what is. So missing my ex is just what is then.
Actually, every single thing that you can think of is a story.
Yeah, including that. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, it's like a fucking maze, isn't it? You can't get to the end. But yeah, I mean, stories.
Mm. Love is a great word. It gets an awful battering and it's overused, but unconditional love includes everything. And that's what this is, everything, which includes hate, whatever you want to call it, but it's hate, hatred, love, lust, pain, torture, whatever.
That's where the unconditional love for me doesn't work. It's like freedom does, but that phrase unconditional love just doesn't really, because of that word. Because it involves,
call
like,
it unconditional
freedom.
carrot then.
What?
Call it unconditional carrot. You know what I mean? Call it whatever.
Well, this is
call
it.
it whatever. It makes absolutely no difference.
Yeah, exactly. Because that word is so loaded, right? And how could that word include, you know, everything that's not love, that, you know, that we perceive love to be? How could that word include the opposite of that? That's, you know, I mean, this is already hard enough without trying to get our heads around that kind of thing.
Well, you see, there's no getting your head around anything like.
Well, I know that.
There's no getting your head around it.
Well, I know that.
I know it's just words. It's you know, it's just words.
Yeah.
And I kind of like unconditional. I kind of like unconditional love. It makes no difference, you know.
I like freedom.
Yeah, freedom is lovely too. But then, you know, freedom is every word it goes. So you know what I mean. It just depends.
It's just fun to talk about it, right?
Nothing appearing to happen is good enough too, you know.
Yeah, and this is it.
Yeah.
Hey, Frank.
Hi.
Hi. Could you talk a little bit more about the word unknowable? Because often I hear people say, I don't know anything. And I know there's no knower conceptually, but sometimes it's like, I don't know, there's a confusion there. So I'm just curious about your own perception of that word unknowable.
Well, you see, all there is the hearing of all there is the hearing, right? This suddenness, and this can't be caught or held because it's actually as the sounds and hearing of this can't be caught or held. So it's totally inexplicable or unknowable because it would have to be a thing then. But it's already too late. This sounds like, you know, when there's something called a meeting and it appears like, you know, there's this talk and then he must be talking about something, but he's talking about talking. This is just sounds and hearing, and it would make it other than to make it knowable. It would make it be able to be bound and held by words, and that, you know, this would be it and then that wouldn't be it then. And so it's just nothing to do with words. And in a way, all of them just fall apart, and nothing to do with knowing, because it's just so sudden. And it doesn't have to be, you know, it includes knowing, unknowing, it includes everything. It's just that the knowability thing is just so far removed, simply because there's normally somebody who knows what this is then. And so if this was knowable, then it'd be location based, probably time based, and this would be a meeting and we'd be talking about something. This isn't even a meeting. And you see, that's kind of, what do you mean this isn't even a meeting? But it's not anything. So all there is hearing. And that's what this is all about, is this just, this suddenness, this inexplicableness, this whatever. And in a way, you know, knowing and unknowing is just totally irrelevant too. That then there are images that are sought. So there isn't unknowing. There isn't, it's just, yeah, it's just what's appearing to happen. And all there is then is, how can you know your attempt to know this?
Mhm.
You know, and that's really why it's utterly unknowable. And yet just all there is then is just the movement to kind of gnaw away, to kind of eat the world in a way. That's what this is: eat and consume and know this. And to make it safe though. So I know the world, or I know non-duality, and I know spirituality. I've been there, done that, and I get it. Oh, I get it. What do you get? There's nothing to get. Nothing to get. There's nothing to get, like. We're not talking about anything. We're talking about sitting on a chair. How can you know sitting on a chair, like? But sitting on a chair doesn't cut the cheese, like, for this. So that's what I'm saying to that anyway. Whatever I said.
Thanks.
It just doesn't, doesn't need to be known. It's not that, it's just, it's already this, and that's it's already the wondering about knowability. It's already that. You can't do that. That's just how it is.
I almost feel like there's a grasping in that knowing, or to say to know, it's like trying to grasp at it, or I don't know, crystallize it or something.
Yeah, and that is how it can be then, just to know this. The movement is, I want to know. And in essence, like, even though, you know, that's what's been said here, is that there's nothing to get and there's no you wanting to know or doing that curiosity or that grasping. There's just the grasping. Just so, you know, that's all there is then. Just
Right.
That's just how it is.
Great. Thanks.
It's shit, isn't it? If it could be known, it could be taught. It could be explained, could be shared. And there could be somebody here who could give it to somebody there.
Frank,
Oh yeah,
how is the book going?
slow. Ah no, actually, I just haven't done anything. I've done. Yeah, I might need an editor or somebody to cut it down. It could only be
Yes,
a
I
page.
wondered how you hadn't cut it down yet, no?
No, kind of leaving it to cook and see if I go back to it. Hopefully, see what happens.
But you wrote it easily.
Wrote it easy. Yeah, kind of burped out in a week. Yeah.
Mm. Get it done.
Mm. Thanks, Siobhan. Um, yeah, somebody's asked, "Hi Frank, would you speak about the I being the sense of separation?" Well, me is separation. You know, that's the essence of it. And me is the center of the universe, and me looks out upon a world. And so if me is real, me is here, I am here, and certain here in the body, and that's real, has to be real, then outside there is real. And if I feel like a person in here, then over there must be real, and whatever story is being told over there, and everything must be real then. And the unreal is not really sensed or felt, and all and yet that kind of, let's say, movement, or that energetic, whatever, it's not even, this just the sensing of being a me, being real, or that movement that appears, there's nobody doing that. There's nobody that can do being an I. There's nobody that can do anything. There's nobody that knows anything. There's just then how it is. And so then when that, let's say, that which never was, never is, then there's no things. So there's no separation. There's no separation. And there's already, you see, in a way, talking about a me or whatever makes it real. So then there is a me, and then there's lost in images of a me that can fall away. And what would life be better without that? What would it be like to be in no separation? That's what, you know, that's then the movement. What would it be like to be not separate? Not separate. And all that's really being shared here is that there's no one. There is already no one. Already no one asking that question there. And there's already no one go, but there is. And so in other words, it's the killer of all stories. It's the end of all stories of separation. And that's why, you know, this idea, that, you know, this love dies, and all there is love, or all there is carrot cake. All there is energy. All there is just what is. But all there is just what is. All there is sitting on a chair. And it's not, you don't get to, there's not suddenly a floating, groovy, musical, happy, unbelievably always blissful sitting on a chair. There's just what's appearing to happen. But there's just what's appearing to happen there. So there is no separation, but there isn't then a state of wholeness that therefore can be, I then can know wholeness, and I can be part of the wondrous whatever images that are sought. That's just the dream then. Images, more images sought after, that it can't be just ordinary, the ordinary miracle of breathing, sitting, storyless life. Just this.
Hey Frank.
Yeah.
Lately I feel like not being not enough. Will that ever change?
Well, all there is the description there of not feeling enough, and I've no clue whether that can change or remain the same, but or whatever. No clue. No clue. Is that amazing? But what's being said there is not feeling enough, and it's heard, but then that's just wonderfully and horribly how it is. You can't do not feeling enough, and you can't not do feeling enough. You're not doing it. That's just how it is. Till to go to the bathroom or whatever the fuck. So suddenly. Somebody's asked, are all those feelings caused by the mind? There's just feelings. It's just feelings. It's just this empty happening, full to the brim now with the hearing of empty happening. This is causeless, and it doesn't make sense, or it's not understandable. You can't do it or not do it. It's just how it is. It's just feelings then. And that doesn't make it, better or worse feelings. It's just how it is. It's a description then. This is a description of the suddenness of just what's appearing to happen. This totally and utterly naked, empty, and yet somehow full to capacity with whatever is appearing. Everything and nothing. Totally and utterly beyond any thought that appears. But what do you mean? But that's just, you can't do but that just happens. I have no clue what this is. I've no clue how to say, I've no clue. It's just what's been said. It's totally authorityless, totally clueless. And yet, there isn't anything to be clued in about, because you can't get closer. You know, you could climb a million mountains and read a gazillion books, and you couldn't do feelings in the body. You know, but feelings in the body, or feelings, can be what is. It's everything, including the thoughts. There's nothing apart.
Well, that's where the unconditional comes in.
Mm.
I know I used to think of unconditional love as the ultimate state,
Yeah.
blissful, happy, joyous. But after really meeting this message, hearing this message, there seems to be a deeper understanding or realization or whatever of understanding that unconditional includes everything. But the programming is so much that we want to seek the positive, always the positive, the happy, the joyful, the, whatever.
Yeah, push away pain and pull in pleasure. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it appears to be then, yeah.
So here things seem to be falling apart. And, there appears to be some holding on to wanting to fix and improve and whatever the case may be. But, there's also the realization of how fruitless that is, to even try to hold on to and improve and fix and make better what's appearing to happen.
Yeah, there's just what is, though. That, there's just, this includes absolutely everything. Wanting to get fit, wanting to lie on the couch. You can't do any of that, but that's just how it appears to be. So, but there definitely can be a scene through of all this improvement, the endlessness of trying to improve the self. It's all just such a wonderful story. It's so attractive, really, to steps to improve, and you can be busy doing that then. But there can be a certain point where it's just going, here, more BS. And it's because what is can't be had. There isn't you and what is. There isn't you to know what is. There's just what is. And then forget that. There isn't even what is, but that's just the sound. All there is hearing. And then whatever story is just rebooted, collapsing and rebooting in every breath.
Yeah.
So this can't be had, this, like things like anything to do with knowledge and realization. This would be awfully tiresome and boring if it was bound by words. It's totally free to be however it is, including feeling separate or whatever, and whatever is being described or appears to be being described. But that's just how it is then. Like we're talking about the miracle of even that, like that's a miracle, but it's not the image that we create is that it's you know, it's not as good as water into wine, sitting on a chair. But our feeling shit or tired or hungover or anxious or whatever is unfolding. But you can't do any of those. It's just how it is. You can't do the reactions to this. You can't do seeking. You can't not do seeking. You can't do, I'm never coming to one of these stupid meetings again. But that can be how it is. And then, you know, can't believe there's nothing on offer.
Right. After seeking and searching and turning over every rock, and sometimes
You didn't seek though.
no, you
never
know,
did a thing. But
Kenneth
this
said
is
the
the
other
end of the
day,
universe. This is the end of the universe. This
yeah,
never started. There's no start. This didn't start. And it's totally and utterly senseless.
it is.
Totally
It
and
is.
utterly senseless. Yeah, it's totally and utterly senseless. Yeah.
But we want to
But
make sense out
well,
of
that
it.
seems to be the movement of the word story making machine, is that I can make sense of this. I have to be able to get to the bottom of this, because, and then there can be, and there may not be, and who knows, but there can be an image of, because there appears to be someone talking about this, that they must know this. There's no way they'd get and stick a microphone in front of their bald head and say nothing. There's no way they do it. They have to, even they must know nothing. Imagine that, like, that's the last, it's just this, and no one knows what this is. There's not even a this. There is already just hearing, just sound, and then not even.
Yeah, unknowable,
Unknowable is unknowable,
right?
and unknowable. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, this is just a story, but once upon a time, there used to be asking the question, where did God come from?
Mm.
And there just seemed to be like a shutting down of the mind, because there's no answer to that, or at least there didn't appear to be.
Mm.
And that feels like this. There's no answer, or there doesn't appear to be an answer to this.
Yeah, no question. Because it suggests that it's other, or it can be known with the question in a way. I heard God quit, to be honest. Anyway,
What did you hear?
I heard God quit. He was fed up.
Oh. Threw in the towel.
Mm.
I know that feeling. It does appear here sometimes. It's like having a plan for your life. There was a saying that we make plans and then God laughs. You know, we think we're in control and can decide what we're going to do and what's going to happen, what's not going to happen, and that plan just falls apart. Sometimes it's challenging to realize that there's absolutely no meaning or purpose.
You see, that's not a thing to be realized. There's nothing to be realized. There's just, that it's sometimes whatever it was said there, sometimes it's difficult to, there's nothing to realize. Like nothing. And then you see the idea of pointless and meaningless can be held then as images and going, oh, my life, it's all pointless and it's all meaningless. And they're images then, as opposed to the total innocence of meaninglessness, the total innocence of pointlessness. It's total, stunning, naked innocence. But of course, that you see, it's every word is objectified, and there's nothing really being said here. It's just it can be lost in again images of this spirituality, of paths, of ways, of realizations, of recognizing X, Y, and Z, and knowing and all that. But you see, there's nothing. It's not even that there's nothing to be realized. There's no you attempting to do all that. There's no you attempting to realize the pointlessness. That's just then what's being described, and all there is then is the hearing of that, empty and full to the brim with whatever is being described. And if that's the real, if that's definitely the truly felt, then that's what's being described. There's nothing. That's just how it is.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. I seem to want to say there's always a kind of a lost in. There can be lost in images of worthiness, of being worthy of this or something. There can be lost of being enough for this, and there's no worthiness about sitting on a chair. There's no worthiness about sound, hearing, or the thinking, or whatever has been sought, or whatever has been felt. That's just how it is. It's just how it is. And it may feel like it's noble, but this is that's just then a movement that what's appearing to happen is noble. It's totally and utterly unknoble. And so feeling amazing, feeling joyful, feeling shit, feeling unworthy is neither here nor there. This is totally and utterly impersonally, wonderfully just what's appearing. And you know, words like unconditional love, in a way, then they kind of distort because there's so many images laden down. You know, you can't do feeling constricted in the body, but that's just can be how it is. You can't do anything, because already there is no one, and there's just the suddenness of what's appearing.
Yeah. No conditions.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Worthiness and Bjorn's, but your worthiness is part of the spiritual trap where you achieve service. Absolutely. It's all that rubbish. Yeah. Anointment. Come on to me. Go on, will you? It's always that authority. Kings and queens and masters and servants, and, you know, somebody who knows and somebody who doesn't know, and imparting knowledge, and, you know, here and there and inner and outer and making it better and all that. And somebody who knows, that's the big one. Somebody must know what this is. Well, if it could be known, enter the gates of hell. That's a bit dramatic, but like a bit of drama.
It'd be boxed and sold.
It could be, yeah.
Therein lies the beauty of it, the unknowing. I don't know why I just said that.
You didn't say it?
No, you're right. It was just said. I think. Words were spoken.
Yeah, it's just totally free to be how it is. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter about how anything is said. You can't do it wrong. You can't do it right. You're not doing it. That's what this is about. Apparently about. Not about anything though.
Yeah. Wow. When you talk about the nakedness of it, and yeah, there's something there, but
Yeah, forget every word though. There's nothing needs to be held on to or kept, you know, there's nothing
right.
useful. You know, nakedness just, it's a lovely word, but then it can be linked. You can zoom. It depends on how it's been heard, but it's just the suggestion. It's another nothing appearing is everything. Yeah, it's another sound word. I seem to like it at the moment.
I think there can be a lot of silence because there's an attempt to maybe ask a question or make a comment, and before the thought is even in your head, it's sort of disappeared already, you know what I mean? So silence actually can seem the only way sometimes. The only I can't even think of the word that I'm trying to describe that, but talking happens and words happen and all that kind of thing, but often it feels like a struggle to even have a thought or put the thought into words. And I'm going to shut up now because that's making no sense whatsoever. Silence can be, great.
Tanya wrote here, I heard someone say the other day that the falling away of the me could be like an energetic relaxing into what is. I thought that was beautiful, she said. Yeah, just it's lovely as well. It's a lovely story, this relaxation. And then unfortunately that can just be an image sought, though. There's already no me. There's just what is. That's the only little fly in the ointment of that.
I heard Andreas Muller today saying it's like what was it called? The long exhale.
Mm. Yeah.
What does that mean? Nothing, obviously.
Well, I can kind of gather, on death, there's this kind of last exhale, but it can just, it's a bit dramatic.
It is dramatic, yeah, but I mean, that's all right. Dramatic is fine. Yeah. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Nothing matters. Yeah.
Hello, Frank.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait. I can't even hear. What is going on here? Hang on a minute. Oh, okay. Hey, Frank, I wanted to say I enjoyed your documentary about 0 and 1.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I remember when you were talking to Andreas Mueller and the frustration you had with trying to grasp the what he was saying.
Mm.
I just wanted to say that I enjoyed that.
Yeah, a lot of people said that.
They enjoyed your
Seem to
misery.
enjoy my torture. Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
I'm not alone. That was great.
Mm.
Like seeing someone else sweat, but no, it was a good document. I really did enjoy it. You know, on all seriousness. So I appreciate that.
All right. Yeah. There you go. Nice one.
Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.
Tanya has written, I watch that talk at least once a month. It's so good. I hear. Come on now. No. Ah. I might watch it in a couple of years then. I sent it on to a friend once and he sent me a message back saying, can I have that hour back, please? So I didn't send it to anyone else, I don't think. Check this out. Nothing happens.
Frank?
Hi.
Hey, I was just, I'm on two different devices here, but let's see. Can you hear me?
I can, yeah.
Okay. So I was, I'm thinking here like, okay, there's no, I could see like I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing, I'm not doing anything, but that seems to leave me left with someone, but I'm just not doing anything.
Mm.
Does that, you get that image? Like,
Well, you see, there can be a kind of an understanding about, you know, knowing, or, you know, that there's no one. I don't know that there's no one. I don't know anything.
right.
So there never was anyone. There's no one asking that question. There's nothing that can fall away. And understanding is kind of like, you know, it's just understanding, isn't it? It's kind of like trying to hold or box this. It's just understanding is just, it's just what it appears to be then.
So it's like you don't go from not knowing something to knowing something or to not knowing something. Do you know what I mean? It sounds like it's, there's already no one here knowing anything.
Yeah, already no one, yeah.
Right. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I woke up this morning to a little tune I wanted to share with you guys. It's a classic. Is that all there is? Is that all there is? If that's... I had to share.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What was that?
That was Miss Peggy Lee's Is That All There Is from 1969.
Nothing needs to be remembered. There's absolutely nothing useful here. Nothing needs to be taken away. Woohoo! Have a lovely weekend.
Thanks, Frank.
Take it
Thank you.
easy.
Thank you.
Take
Thank
it
you so
easy.
much, Frank. Thank you. Thank
Take
you.
it easy. See you later.
See you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, sweetheart. Aw.